Generic greetings and welcome back once again to Airborne Kingdom, where in the previous episode we went to the Jakarta lookout here and had a quest to help them out by bringing a lot of their philosophers to the nearby cities and towns, empires, etc. We went to the foundry and got that built quite easily. We went over to the crag perch, which they required the completion, or I guess more rebuild, of their big hoist, which we managed to do. However, they needed a pulley, and we've got that from the bridges over on the back there. In this episode, we need to pretty much finish this off, I think. So we currently have a total of 145 people out of 50 for the Renew the Airborne Kingdom, and we also need to ally with 2 other empires. So, well, 2 kingdoms. So we've got basically both of these to hand in, so it should be hopefully a matter of heading over to these kingdoms and getting it all done. In terms of resources, we are doing okay. We have 66 of 130 food, so we are getting a bit low on food. It's not of a great concern yet, but we may have to build some gardens. We have 170 water, which we can obviously get some more easily by just, going past these oases. We have 104 out of 120 coal, which is more than enough, even though we've got a lot of these vertical rotors. We've increased our speed to 91% because we've got, 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 11, 12, sorry, 1, 2, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. 12 of these sails, which means I think most of our people, most of our people are 126 are working, 48 of them are on sails. So the majority of the work for this place is sails, which is, I don't know if it's concerning, but it's, curious. Anyway, so we're heading over to where we need to go. Obviously, this is not complete. We have things like the glass smelter and the iron forge and stuff just off on one side. We're going to copy it over to the other side as and when we need it, and I may do that towards the end of this one just to say we've completed it and done it. But yeah, we have all of the wonders, all 3 of them: the Tranquil Gardens, the Great Library, and the Nomads Area, which I think that thing there, I think, is completely useless, quite frankly, especially when we got it, because by the time we picked it up, we'd already found most of the things in the game. So yeah, it's like, I think it's just a case of completionist stuff. Yeah, you've got it, now you can finish, finding everything else. Maybe not. Maybe it's just the order I've done it in. Who knows? Anyway, we're heading back to this place, which will give us an alliance and more people, and that will turn us into, I'm guessing, a city. I don't know. So we return the pulleys, and that is now going up and down. We've got boxes and barrels and everything. So we attach them to the Korean hoist. People gather on all districts to cheer us on. A few even wish to join us after seeing the display. So the crowd parts as the king walks between them. He waves and shouts up towards us, giving them reward mobility. It cannot contain his elation. So he wants us to build a skyport. Yes, we will go ahead and build a skyport, which will obviously seal our alliance. There is a small settlement which we don't have any use for. I'm just going to stop the boat here. That should then start construction of the port, because we should be close enough, I think. Are we not close enough? Maybe not. The acceleration of this thing is pretty impressive now, considering our speed. There, we're right above it now, so hopefully with the skyport being constructed, we should be alright. We can start trading if we want to. Why is it not being constructed? Is it just because we're not right above it? No, there we go. It is being constructed. Anyway, that's all that really concerns me. What I may do is buy food, actually. Other things. Barter. Buy food. And I'll sell glass. I've got loads of glass. Over 200, in fact. I'll sell some water. And I'll sell some brick. And with that, we are pretty much sorted. We don't need any more. Just going to head over here a little bit, because this oasis here, which I can just say, right, 15 people, gather all that water. So yeah, we haven't got much iron, but we can trade for it. We've got loads of glass, loads of brick, and canvas not so much of, but we are slowly converting it because we're getting 4 wood from the original location that we allied with everybody, and then we're getting some from the... We're getting some cotton from the other place. There is the bonuses for the temple there. I'm going to go for increased capacity for the tea garden. I'll actually, no, you know what I might do instead? Go for a... Oh, there's the alliance of... Yep, the crag perch. Great, we've built the skyport. So, some people have joined us, and we have iron, and that means we are now an Airborne Kingdom. We are officially an Airborne Kingdom. It's time for a celebration. With the last few migrants, we could finally create the Airborne Kingdom. We may continue to recruit inhabitants, but our current population is enough to form the Great Council. All of us are enchanted with our place in history. This day will be forever glorious, and our renown will shine through the ages. We are one step closer to prophecy. Okay, instead what I'm going to do is research in storage the water tower upgrade, because I think that will be of great benefit to us, because we can just get more water stored and just sell it, you know. We can very much trade our way out of the issue now. That looks like we're going really quick, and I guess we are going really quick. We've got 91% speed. One town centre is giving us 6 propulsion, and then 12 sails is 85 propulsion. Yeah, so at normal speed, you can see we're getting across much faster. So, yeah. Anyway, we're heading down to the Jakarta lookout because we are now on max for our population, or at least max for the Renew the Airborne Kingdom quest, and we just need to return to get the last remaining ally, I think. So, do I want to build the rest of the buildings around here for symmetry purposes? Yes, I think I do. So, a kiln will go in... Which orientation is it? I think it is that way. So we'll put the kiln in there. We will go for a glass smelter, which will go in there. And then finally at the back, it's an iron forge. And all that's been done for symmetry. And hang on, also a hemp weaver. There you go. We will have our pathing update. Do we have to update our pathing? Not really. We don't really need to upgrade our pathing. And obviously that's going to have a lot less people idle now. But it's of no consequence, really. No real consequence. I guess the issue we may face is not many people in the plains now because they're all working. Even though these jobs, like for example, the glass. If we go over here, it says 6 making glass at smelters. Well, we have no people. We have no resource to make glass. Yet it still takes that. If that makes sense. It still takes those people, which is a bit silly, but there you are. There's some coal, which I'm very happy to see because we're on 86. There is that huge forge. That's probably one of the nicer looking areas. Out of all the areas that we've been to, which to be fair, it's only 3. There's the original one here. We've got the wetlands over here. And then there's this one. I think I prefer the wetlands over this area, that's for sure. This is just a bit devoid of colour and the palette's a bit bland, but yeah. The original one's quite nice too as well, I guess. We have 156 places for people to live. I think what I'm going to do is pause it there for a second, check out... They're jubilant. Why are they jubilant? They're probably around that. Could be that. That's street lamps. I don't know if I need more greenery, do I? Probably not. I mean, it doesn't really matter if I put greenery in because it doesn't do anything anymore. I don't think, because this removes the... Oh, that removes displeasure. Right, okay. But doesn't provide anything per se. Do I need a shrine around here? I could have a shrine in. One there and one there. We'll see later on. We'll probably build that later on, if need be. We probably need a bit more wood. I'm gathering the coal from back there first. That's pretty much going to be emptied out shortly. Today's beverage is a nice cup of tea. With a bit too much milk, I think. Let's go ahead and gather some stuff from that forest. We also have water there, which we're on 100 of 130. There's a quartz mine. I could get the quartz, but we're on 173 glass. But just to give the people something to do, you understand. Let's go for 5 there. We're on 94 of 120 for the coal, so more than enough for that. And this is where we might get basically to the end. I could put some more pathing around the back, but it would just be a case of doing it for the sake of it. Yeah, water condenser. It's offsetting some of the negatives. This is the lookout, and maybe the last place that we need to have a chat to. So you have a warm welcome on our return to Jakarta. Now, enjoying the fruits of their observatory. Some of the locals join us. Glad you accept. King joins on the cliffside, convinced by all of our efforts. We are indeed the Airborne Kingdom in his eyes. If we build a skyport, we'll ally with them. Let's build a skyport. And that should be the last remaining skyport. At least for these allies. Let's gather a bit more wood over there. Just going to get right above this. And start to construct the skyport. Just stop there. And there we are. Got some coal, but we don't really need it. We're only 25 down. More people over there, but to be fair, we don't really need those. We will need some more housing. We'll need some more housing simply because of the extra people that will ally with us. So I'm going to put them around here. I'm going to leave that little gap just in case we need to put like a temple or something in between. I'm actually out of wood, but I'm gathering loads of timber anyway, so it matters not. You can see the planes zipping back here and landing in, which will give us that wood. Just increasing the size of the houses. Obviously we are building vertically rather than building horizontally. All of the houses themselves are in basically a big line, as you can see. I'm very proud that we've managed to keep this almost entirely symmetrical. As I said right at the start of the series, it wasn't just for an aesthetic touch or my sort of desire to have things symmetrical. It was to do with stability. You know, if you build everything at one side, or you have, say, all warehouses on the left and then all the houses on the right or something, whatever combination of those things, it goes off balance and people just don't like it. Now that we have, obviously, the gardens, it removes displeasure from tilt, so it matters not. Same as previously, if we'd placed this rotor closer, we get negatives on these houses. I'm sure there's a lot more interesting designs people can make with the tools available, but this is what we went with. I'm fairly happy with it. So skyport is just about to be completed, and we'll see what happens once we've done that. So there's the other ally, and that is the last remaining ally for the Airborne Kingdom, I believe. The tapestry looks to be somewhat complete. That's the Jakarta lookout. Not Jakarta from Babylon 5, all that might be pretty good. Right, with the skyport complete, the Jakarta lookout is now connected to our neighbours. Few works to join us. Okay, but also, return to the tapestry. We have now allied with every kingdom on the ground, restoring harmoniousness cooperation to the lands. Our work is not yet complete, for we must forever aid the kingdoms. Without a flying connection, their isolation may well restore itself, but there is one final task which we all agree must be undertaken. For when we found these ancient technologies, their secrets were lost to time. We must return the tapestry that began our journey and proudly display it, that none may forget again. We shall. And where shall we return that to? I think I have a clue. It is right down the bottom. Yep, that is where we need to go. So, I guess from our current location, we're going to head over to the nearest... I guess the nearest town... The crossing is the nearest, is the closest, I think. So we'll head over there. I think that is the closest. Where's it put the marker? I don't know where the marker is. But it seems to be coming the right way. This is where we are, and we're heading down here. Yeah, I think I am actually heading, I believe, to the right area. Now, naturally, we are flying across an area that has nothing here. This is completely devoid of pretty much everything. There's the water tower upgraded. We'll do the research tree. And we can go for storage, water tower, 1 and then 2. That looks so precarious. The water towers. When you build on top of them like that. It looks so precarious. There's that one being built there. It is like the Tower of Art from Discworld. Anyway, you can see we are heading over basically nothingness. There's nothing down below to gather. Nothing of interest, just rolled up pieces of paper. Because obviously this is the sort of... I was going to say like fake map that it's got going, but it's like this Granny's wallpaper, as some people have been calling it. So, we'll head over. We have 161 people, maximum homes currently 174. 55 food, so that's of some concern, but we'll be able to trade for it once we get to this area. And obviously this area has also got a lot more farming as well. 88 water of 180, which is good. We are on 299 lift, maximum 362, so more than enough to build more. Sadly, speed has gone down to 84%. Coal is on 80 of 120, and the other resources, really, we're not really too bothered about. It's just, it is what it is. There's the clouds disappearing as we leave the other area, I think. We can still see in the distance these almost like fireflies going around to indicate where we have got the alliances and such. So we're going to head over here. I'm just looking for resources, really, as much as I can. There's a thicket with 144. Brilliant. We're going to head over there first. Thicket. Get all of the food. Because that's 144 food. And then there's water in the middle, which is... Oh, it's only got 22. Oh, that's a shame. But whatever. It should be fine. And there's some coal as well. So, of the resources that we need, we have them all around here. So, there is no problem whatsoever. So, thicket. Max out our people. I will head this way a little bit. And then we will stop the boat. We could have gone back and got some more. To be fair, I should have checked those ponds out when I went over, and same as that forge, but it would have only been another colour scheme. Nothing of great consequence. There's our food gathering up. You can see the difference in the look of it. I haven't changed the colour of it. It's just the lighting and colour temperature in this area. So there's the thicket being completely decimated. I'm going to put no planes on that anymore because obviously we're going to max out. Yeah, there we go. We've already maxed out. Oases is now empty. And I'm going to say coal. Max that out and then head back. So we're now heading to this kingdom of Rotula, and then finally we go back to the Tapestry Ruin, which is where we started our adventure several episodes ago. It's been a funny old adventure. It has been certainly not overly challenging. I think if one was to level some criticism at the game, I guess you could say that it's not an overly difficult game once you understand the fundamentals of like the tipping and the resource efficiency. I certainly would say that the easiest way to play is just to go for heavy research and get all of the efficiency stuff very early on. Without that, we would have been probably in a worse state, because we would have had to constantly be gathering resources and heading back to try and find things. But because we went heavy research and heavy efficiency, we've been able to pretty much do what we want. The wetlands I was very concerned about, because I thought, well, if we're going to run out of resources, it may be there, but we really didn't have any big dramas at all. And obviously you can trade as well. And we've only had, up until very recently, this episode in fact, 1 hemp weaver, 1 glass smelter and 1 iron forge. And 1 kiln. I put them in for the sake of completion. If you don't fulfill all of the needs, then obviously you do get some problems. But nothing major. We have a couple of people leave at one point. So, yeah. Like I said, you could level criticism that way, but, you know, it's just the choice I made, and it's a chill game, and I'll often take that over other things at times, certainly these times. Let's stop the boat. The Tapestry ruin. An unremarkable ruin is half covered in sand, similar to the hundreds of scatters across the Barrens, and yet within its walls we find the prophecy that we hope can change the fate of the Empire. That is what we originally started with, and that's where we started. Begin to raise the tapestry.
As we raised the tapestry, a crack broke the skies from above. Descending from the expanse was a platform on which stood a single elder, the sage who explained the true prophecy. Long ago, the ancients did not disappear. They ascended.
Like Stargate.
These ascendants climbed ever higher, into the heavens, among the stars. They worried of sharing this discovery, for the skies held a beauty that should never be sullied. Yet, to hide such splendor was equal folly. So they devised a ritual to prove one's worth and see who could become ascendant. The prophecy. Those who could find the old machines and unite the world would be worthy of the infinite. We were not the first. Our legends were just one of a never-ending loop.
So it's an endless cycle then.
And we had proven our worth. We could ascend. The sage assured us that our quest was won, but we hesitated. Was that the destiny of our people? Of course, you know the choice we made.
Do we?
But its consequence is a tale for another time.
Ah, the DLC or sequel got you. Right. Upselling. And I think that's it. Airborne Kingdom. There it is. So I don't know what your takeaway from the ending was. Does that mean that the cycle endlessly continues, which means everybody else has to suffer over and over and over again while things go horribly wrong, and then a random empire comes and nicks all the resources and builds things? It's a fairly parasitic approach, isn't it? Or whether you could argue that only the righteous ascend. Either way, that has been a bit of Airborne Kingdom. It has been a fairly chill experience, which is something I am always up for, especially these times. It has been good. In terms of creativity, you do have a lot of options there. You can go for a very tall build using lots of high technology and research. You can go for quite an expansive build using lots of the lower tier stuff. You can go with more people and have a lot of buildings that are a lot of buildings that use a lot of people rather than resources. We will go to main menu there. Or you could go for ones that are sort of high resource, low people. There's lots of ways you can do it. I think because of the lack of inherent difficulty, certainly which we've played there, it allows you to do pretty much anything, which is totally fine. Either way, that's been a bit of Airborne Kingdom. I would like to go through again if there is any major updates or patches or DLC, etc., to increase the scope of it, increase options, but that seems to be a fairly decent complete there. Either way, I hope you have enjoyed this video and the series overall. Thank you very much for watching. If you want to see more of this sort of thing, by all means, let me know in the comments. As always, we'll go from there. Thanks very much for watching. Take care, and generic partings.